the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet TV radio production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make all your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes or live radio streaming as well as tape productions for social media platforms and television. AMP2 TV can handle all of your television needs, including closed caption for a perfect on-air telecast. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages or visit one of their many studios to get your creative juices flowing. Come and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's A-M-P, the number 2.tv, or call them at 866-224-5422. Feel free to call for a quote or just a consult of how to put your business on a social media platform or radio platform, or just doing a show that is covered by all platforms. Call 866-224-5422 and make an appointment. That's 866-224-5422. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. AMP2.tv presents Tell Us Your Business, where you're invited on the air to tell us what makes your business stand out in the community. It's important we hear from you to tell us all we need to know about what you do best. Tell Us Your Business uses the latest radio and television production systems, and all shows can be seen on amp2.tv. If you have a question for our guest, call 888-565-1470. Now, let's get ready as our guest hits the airwaves and informs us about what we need to know on Tell Us Your Business.
Hello, and welcome to the Feel Good Express premiere show. I'm so grateful and elated to be here and to be able to share with you my heart-centered tips and tools that I have created over the last 40 years. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm Dede Lyons. I'm founder of my Feel Good Express program. I motivational speak. I'm an author. I'm a dancer. And I also do workshops and one-on-one empowerment coaching. And I'm in my passion and in my dream. And I want to thank Freddie and Dawn from the Brooklyn Cafe for making my dream come true right here tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about the Feel Good Express. What is the Feel Good Express? It's a lifestyle program where I show people how to release worry, doubt, frustration, anger, sadness, all the lower vibrating emotions, and help them attract abundance in finance, career opportunities, romance, whatever it is you need. And a lot of us need self-love. So that seems to be a big part of what I help people with. And the Feel Good Express, like the birth of it, when did it start? It actually started when I turned 40 in 1990. And I was in this very high-level stress job in New York City working in broadcast sales and marketing. As a matter of fact, I ended up working in broadcast sales and marketing for 32 years. But what was happening to me at that time was like, wow, I'm running out of steam. I've got to figure out a way to feel better, raise my vibration level. And when I talk vibration level, I want you to know it's energy. I had to find a way to boost my energy because I thought, I'm going to be working another 25 years at least. And I didn't know if it was going to be in Manhattan, but I knew I was going to be in broadcast sales and marketing. So I embarked on this path of finding ways to raise my energy. And I started with yoga. I knew about yoga and meditation, but really delved into it. So yoga, meditation, chanting, aromatherapy, all of these different modalities. And then I started to read tons of books. I've read so many books on how to raise your vibration or how to feel better, and also just how to develop myself. So it was, my husband used to tease me and say, your bookshelf looks a little bit like the self-help section of the Barnes & Noble store. And it did. So moving forward, when these modalities and these energizing things I was doing started to really help me, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to use it for my sales team. I'm going to use it for my clients, because I had to make budget and goal, and I had to hire great salespeople and motivate, bring up morale. And before you know it, we were always using these tools as I was working through this career in broadcast sales and marketing. So I want to show you how you can do it. It's very easy. When I say high vibration and talk about vibration, I want you to think of it like this. There's a great book that I love. It's called Ask and It Is Given. And it's Esther Hicks is the author, and I think on page 42 or 43, there's an emotional balance scale. And this scale is, on the top is joy and love and elation and compassion. And on the bottom of the scale is more sadness, depression, worry, doubt, all the emotions that we have. And these emotions can be very draining, but you want to embrace them and you want to feel them, but you don't want to spend a lot of time down there. And life happens, so we do. These are normal feelings to have: fury, worry, doubt, sadness. But as you climb up, you don't have to go through every level once you see the emotional scale. I don't have a picture of it here. But in the middle is hope. So if you could get to hope, you could eventually get up to the top of the emotional balance scale. And that's what my tools and tips do. So I want to share them with you and show you how to feel empowered and feel happy. And why is it important to vibrate high? Like, people are like, why do I have to vibrate high? When you're vibrating high, your life changes. You feel better, you have more clarity, you feel things on a deeper level, you have great connections with your family, with your friends, and you thrive in the office. And speaking of that, I'll just segue into this. Workplace wisdom is kind of what this show is going to be about. It's going to be about tools and tips that we all use on a daily basis to help us thrive, feel creative, have fun, and really know that you're protected and guided and grounded and feel solid. So I have these three wonderful guests here. I'm gonna get all choked up about them. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. They are so, I can't tell you how much I love them. So let me introduce them.
Happy tears.
Oh, by the way, there's an article on my website, feelgoodexpress.com, about joy in your tears, because this is joy. Even I swear I'm going to make you all feel good. Okay, so let me introduce Chrissy Colton, who I got the opportunity to work with at News Channel 5. We worked together for 7 years, and we double team called every day with our tools. So she now is the national sales manager at the ABC affiliate, and boy, does she have a stressful job. Okay, and then I have Vivian, another best friend. She's a cranial sacral therapist, and she's going to tell you more about that, but her gifts are unbelievable. She not only got rid of my sciatica, she rebirthed my soul. So my inner child came out in a whole different way. And then we have Denise Neiman, who is the Palm Beach County attorney for 23 years?
Yeah.
23 years. Anybody before her only did it for 2 years and burnt out, okay?
Well, 4, because we want to be technically correct.
Okay.
Still a big difference.
So she has this amazing passion side gig called Glitter the Globe. And does she glitter the globe? Sparkles galore. She blogs on the beach at 6 in the morning when the sun's rising, and she also has this Glitter the Globe in Paris. And she'll tell you more about that later. But I am so grateful to have these women in my life, because having a support system, oh my God, it's so important. So let's get into like a couple of the tools. Okay, a couple of the tools that I use to de-stress myself, and I know these ladies here use some of the ones I'm using too, because they've been to almost all my workshops and my classes, and they better be using them. Okay, aroma oil. I'm not going to pull them all out, but there's different ones that you can use. And actually, when I was on the show, the Brooklyn Cafe show with with Dawn and Freddie, we put on Awaken. This is my favorite, White Angelica. This blocks negative energy. So it protects you, and it has a protective bubble around it. It's one of my favorites. So aromatherapy. As a matter of fact, my husband will know in the morning when I'm kind of cranky, walking around, he goes, "Did you put your oils on?" I'm like, "Oh, right." Run in the bathroom, put them on. "Did you talk to your inner child in the mirror?" That's one of my other tools. Talking to your inner child, doing mirror work. That came from Louise Hay many, many years ago, and it's her favorite tool. So really talking to in the mirror and look in the mirror in the morning and say, "I love you, Dede. I can't wait to go out and play with you all day." So that's another tool that I use. And the other one that is my absolute favorite is 3 hugs a day diet. If you get 3 hugs a day in, you're going to see your vibration raise. So I'm not going to jump around the set and hug everybody right now. We'll do it at the end. So Chrissy, or Vivian, any of you, tell us some of the tools that you're using in your day-to-day life and that you really bring to the office.
Absolutely. Well, as you know, I'm still in broadcast sales, and it is a high-stress job, as Dede mentioned. And Dede and I have known each other for a good 10 years or more, and thank you, by the way, for inviting me to support you today. I feel blessed for that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So in that high-stressed environment, I've created a few tips and tricks along the way to help me stay high vibe. And those tips and tricks really come out of the tool bag from Dede. So one of them is to be heart-centered all day long, for making choices, thinking, speaking to clients. It's really tough when you're in this very stressful environment for 10 or 12 hours a day on deadlines to keep reminding yourself, think from the heart, act from the heart, feel from the heart. In fact, I always wear a little something heart-wise, like today I have on my heart earrings. I know I've got them on, but it also helps too when I'm speaking and meeting with people, because then they see the heart and then they start to feel it. So always from the heart. Then also check in with your gut, your intuition, your gut, your solar plexus. This tells you so much, and we've had to strengthen those muscles over the years. But really, when you're a highly sensitive person, this is where you get a lot of your really good answers. The big thing for me, of course, is gratitude. If you can stay in gratitude for as long as possible, that vibration alone will help you make great decisions in talking with cranky, fussy clients all day long. One of the other things, too, that I'd like to add to part of what I've learned with you is the manifestor's promise. And that manifestor's promise is, I'm 100% responsible for everything that I bring into my life. Everything, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we celebrate that. And, when you're in the midst of feeling through those difficult moments, you have to remember that energetically we brought that in. So bless it, love it, send it on in a good, happy way. And then really the other thing in dealing with this very high stressed environment is to be of service. Mother Teresa had it right. To be a blessing. Bring your blessing, bring your service. This is how your value raises. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Thank you, Dede.
All right.
I know.
Vivian or Denise?
Right, so
Vivian.
I'm
Okay.
Okay, so, I am a craniosacral therapist, and I'm also a licensed massage therapist.
Just move in a little bit.
And working with the body and working with so many people, you have to find a way to stay grounded. So prayer, meditation, I use a lot of that because some of my clients may express trauma, and you never know what you're going to expect in a day. So you've got to protect your energy. You have to protect your surroundings and be mindful of the client without any judgment. So it sounds easy to try and be neutral or be grounded, but you really just have to switch off the outside world. Sometimes I imagine a little light switch. And it helps, and you just let's get to work. What does this person need? How can I help this person? How can I be of service to this person? And praying, energy clearing, working on yourself, all helps for you to carry on with your day, especially if you have, let's say, 6 people in a day, which I used to do, and you find your ways. And apart from that, at the end of a long busy day, I walk the dog.
Those headspace are vibrations.
And sometimes my kids are they're coming in from school, and I'm like, hey, go get washed, do what you need to do, and I'm like, I'm going to walk the dog. And I'm like, well, we want to walk the dog too, but I actually like to be on my own just to clear my mind before I come home and do my chores. So sometimes it's the little things. So getting outside in nature is the big thing for me as well. I like to walk 6 miles a day, maybe 3 or 4 times a week, and that clears my mind. I get universal messages. I become really focused on what I need to achieve on that day. So I like to do a lot of that as well.
Oh, that's excellent. I love it. I love the nature. Nature. Oh my God.
Yes. Speaking of nature, sorry, one more thing.
Sure.
Exercise. My trainer, Amy from Fit and Psych, she had all of her Iron Girls outside doing drills in the tennis court this morning in nature. It was great. It wasn't easy, but thank you, Amy. Okay.
All right, so everything's already been said.
Not possible.
I know, but it's pretty much consistent. And yes, thank you, Dede. We usually get together at a restaurant, and to be able to sit around here, it's really an exciting opportunity for us to share what we're doing with each other, and then also whoever's listening in and watching. My morning is the only time I feel that I have for myself. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. The minute you get to the office, everything changes. I have only control over the morning, I feel. So for me also, it's very important to get grounded. Nature, you mentioned the beach. I'm taking a little hibernate to create during the winter time, so I'll be back on the sand in spring. I like to follow the seasons. I think that's also very important, to be in tune with the seasons. But the beach is very grounding. I do inspirational reading, prayers, and set my intention for the day. So then when I get downtown, I have that really good solid core of feeling like anything can happen, I can handle it. And to remind me of that, I'm a material spiritual girl, so I sometimes use shoes as a tool. So depending on the day I look around, I'm like, okay, definitely need those with the extra high heel, or definitely need the extra glitter pumps. I don't care what they look like there. They're energizing me from the ground up. So that's a fun tip if you don't, embrace crystals. Everyone loves shoes. So when I get to work and all things start to break loose, I just have to remember my morning, get back and grounded. And there are things around my desk, like you said, the earrings, it's subtle. They're there. Maybe someone else catches them. And for me, I could have a stone I got from a beautiful monastery, or something just to look at it and say, bring me back to that morning feeling. And the rest of the day can just do it at once. I can constantly reframe it.
Right.
That's beautiful.
That's where we're
Great.
at.
Well, I also wanted to just let the listeners and the viewers know that if any of this resonates with you, right now we're not taking phone calls, but please make comments on the Facebook page. And also you could reach me at Dede at Feel Good Express. You can email me. And please go into my website and sign up for the newsletter. And my Feel Good Express is feelgoodexpress.com. So I was thinking about this as you were all talking, and I was thinking about the gifts, and I was also being reminded of the last episode of the Oprah Winfrey Show. And she said, and I take this with me now, and it's really part of my program and part of my heart, that of all the thousands of guests that she had on her show, she really said everybody had in common, they just want to be seen and heard. So she said, if you can tell as many people as you can. I see you, I hear you, and what you say matters. So that's a big part of my program. And that's what I get from the support from these 3 women. They see me, they hear me, and they see things about me that I don't see about myself, and the same goes for me about them. I can see their gifts, and I'll remind them, and they'll go, really? Or they'll see something about me, and I'll go, really? I don't even notice that I had that. But being seen is so important. So we call ourselves the Angel Team, and we believe in angels, unseen helpers. And when I say unseen helpers, it could be deceased loved ones, deceased pets, it could be ascended masters, Mother Teresa, as you mentioned. We believe in that, and that's why we feel so protected and we vibrate high. The other thing I want to segue into is the 4 clairs. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the 4 clairs, but there's clairvoyance, which is seeing at a higher level when you vibrate high. There's also clairaudience, which you're hearing at a higher level. There's claircognizance, which is just crystal clear knowing, which is my main tool gift. And then there's also clear, I can never pronounce it right, Chrissy, your gift.
Clairsentient.
I call it
Where you sense it.
That goes sentient.
You can feel it.
Clairsentious. And each of us, we all have these gifts. Everyone out there has them. But when you vibrate high, you start to use them and they start to come up because you're seeing things. It's like being a baby or a puppy, right? The babies and the puppies, they see everything before anybody else because they're in the present moment all the time, or most of the time. So Chrissy, describe the clairsentience that you have and how it helps you in your daily life.
I think I mentioned earlier that I'm a highly sensitive person. There is such a thing. I searched it up because I thought I was just crazy. And I mean, after so many years of my mom saying to me, oh, you're so sensitive, I started to think, oh, I am so sensitive. And then I was like, well, what's up with the sensitivity? So when I looked it up, yes, there's such a thing as a highly sensitive person. You're an HSP if you are. It's not a bad thing. It just means that you sense a lot. You sense other people. You sense feelings when you walk into a room. When you're in a building, you get sensations. And I think I mentioned this earlier, that that's part of that inner knowing, that gut feeling, that solar plexus. And I've addressed it and I've blessed it and I've learned more about it so that I know how to, instead of being like, oh, you're so sensitive, now I know to use my sensitivity. And, you know, it helps me when meeting people, greeting people, learning about them.
Oh, I loved it. When I used to go on double team calls with her, she would know a lot before we even got in the room.
So funny. I can almost tell you the person's name or what they were going to say. We'd get in the car and I said, oh, yeah, I already knew that.
Right. And, of course, we would bring with us the white angelica oil because we didn't want
the closing oil.
We wanted to give off like really good vibes, even though we were vibrating higher. We wanted to protect ourselves a little bit. So Denise, tell me a little bit about the clairaudience, your higher hearing that you get.
Well, I also get the you're too sensitive kind of person, and I've found that I've determined that it was like being used like just against you, like, oh, you're just being sensitive about something, just a regular work thing, and then now I just say, well, you're quite insensitive, and not to be, you know, rude about it or confrontational, but there is that kind of, you know, judgment that's made. I just tune in. I know it sounds like, okay, I'm hearing voices, but I'm talking to my father and my brother constantly, 2 people that were very important to me that went on the other side. So I too thought I was going crazy, and I just really get the best guidance. Like sometimes I'll have a zillion files on my desk and I'll say, what's the best thing that I should do right now? You know, basically talking to myself at my desk. And I'll get a message like, just clean out those folders. I'm like, I've got real work to do. Cleaning comes later. You hear it again and you're like, I'm cleaning out the files. And 9 times out of 10, I will find documents in those files that actually help me clear stuff out. Like I've been looking for this contract and here it is, and I buzz through the stuff that's on my desk. So I just think you just don't discount those things. You know the difference between like hearing voices versus like hearing something that's coming from a higher place that's helping you.
Cool.
So yeah,
I love that.
Very helpful.
Thank you. Vivian, a little bit on the clairvoyance.
I don't really know where to begin.
Well, you only have 30 seconds. So.
Okay.
Oh, like this morning's 30 seconds. That means 20 minutes.
Right.
Well, really,
Sorry.
I say that because I think all of the seeds have come into my life somehow. And, you know, from being a massage therapist for 10 years, craniosacral for
Closer to the
nearly
mic.
8 years, it basically, you become more sensitive and your gifts start to come out. You start to notice more things, especially with the body. A lot of it for me came from being in session and working on the body. There's certain things I could feel, what is that? And thank God I do continue with a lot of classes, especially with the Up Ledger Institute, where I learn, oh, that's what that is, and I'm feeling that, and wow, no one else is feeling it, but it's okay, it's real. And and I can speak all day long about this, but obviously I cannot. But all I know is I trust my gut, and whatever I'm doing, home with the kids, important meeting, I just know, I just have a knowing, and whatever that is what it is. I no longer question it. So.
Well, thank you. I love all the information you're sharing about that, because our viewers and listeners need to know that you all have these gifts and you can bring them out. But you just want to start vibrating high and using some of the tools that we've been talking about. And if you use these tools, and one of my favorite tools is write all your worry and doubts down, and I got it from The Artist's Way, a book by Julia Cameron. And you write everything and you shred it. I do it every day. I've been doing it for over 20 years. And then you start getting into gratitude, like Chrissy said, opening your heart, hugging someone, put a little oil on, go in the mirror, give yourself a little, I love you, Dede. And the other thing I wanted to say to all of you is that I'm just so grateful for this experience. And one of my dreams was to be able to share my platform, my message, and have it be out there for everybody to know how easy peasy it is. Okay, so thank you very much. And the Maya Angelou quote that I love so much is, people will remember not necessarily what you said or did, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. So thank you for making me feel terrific. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
This has been Tell Us Your Business, where a special guest comes on every week and tells us what they do. All shows can be seen on amp2.tv, and if you wish to be a guest, call 866-224-5422 and tell us about your business. That's 866-224-5422. This has been an amp2.tv production.